If the Philadelphia Eagles beat the New Orleans Saints Sunday, the party is just beginning. Miller Lite will be giving away free beer to those of age at select bars in the Philadelphia area immediately after the Eagles' victory. There is a 1 beer per customer limit, and each customer has to be over 21 to participate. The Eagles, to no surprise, are underdogs for the NFC Divisional Playoff Sunday. Philadelphia opened as 9.9 underdogs to New Orleans with the over-under at 51.5, the largest line of all the playoff games this weekend. That line was moved down to 8 over the past few days. Philadelphia finished 18th in points per game, 22.9, and 14th in yards per game, 365.3. The Eagles are 15th in yards per play, 5.6, and 12th in third down conversion rate, 40.98%, and 17th in red zone scoring percentage, 57.89%. Philadelphia is 28th in the league in rushing, 98.1 yards per game, and 7th in passing, 267.2 yards per game. On defense, the Eagles finished 12th in points allowed per game, 21.8, and 23rd in yards allowed per game, 366.2. Philadelphia ranks 6th in the league in opponents' third down conversion percentage, 35.32%, and 1st in stopping opponents in the red zone, 44.64%. The Eagles are 7th in the NFL in rush defense, 96.9 yards per game, and 3/0th in pass defense, 269.2 yards per game. Philadelphia scored 16 points in Sunday's win over the Chicago Bears, totaling 300 yards and going 6 for 13 on third down. The Eagles allowed 15 points against the Bears, totaling 356 yards, but held the Bears to 0 for 3 in the red zone. The Eagles held on for a thrilling victory against the Bears. The incredible season is still alive. Next up, the Saints in the divisional playoffs. Make sure to keep following along the rest of the way. Take 5 seconds to sign up for our free Eagles newsletter now. The Saints finished 3rd in the NFL in points per game, 31.5, and 8th in yards per game, 379.2. The Saints are 7th in yards per play, 6.0, and 6th in third down conversion rate, 44.57%, and 4th in red zone scoring percentage, 69.57%. New Orleans is 6th in the league in rushing, 126.6 yards per game, and 11th in passing, 252.6 yards per game. The Saints are 14th in points allowed per game, 22.1, and 14th in yards allowed per game, 349.1. New Orleans ranks 24th in the league in opponents' third down conversion percentage, 41.27%, and 24th in stopping opponents in the red zone, 63.27%. The Saints are 2nd in the NFL in rush defense, 80.2 yards per game, and 29th in pass defense, 268.9 yards per game. The Eagles are certainly a different football team than the one that played in the Superdome in Week 11, starting with the offense. Besides Foles being the quarterback, the Eagles' offense has been averaging 25.4 points per game and 370.4 yards per game in the 7 games since the Saints' loss. On defense, the Eagles have allowed just 18.9 points per game and 352.2 yards per game. Much different than the 7 points and 196 yards of offense the Eagles put up against the Saints in Week 11. Ditto with the 48 points and 546 yards allowed on defense. The Saints haven't been the same team that defeated the Eagles in Week 11 either, limping to the finish line over the past 6 weeks. New Orleans is averaging just 21 points per game and 299.3 yards per game over the past 6 games, 19.0 points per game and 296.8 yards per game since the 13-10 loss to Dallas. Bud Light came through for the Eagles last year on their Super Bowl promise. Eagles fans are hoping Miller Lite holds up their end of the bargain.